Have you ever wondered what happens when an elderly mother is abandoned by her own child? Today's story isn't just about poverty, it's a ruthless test of the human heart. An old woman spent her entire life working, sacrificing, building a family with her bare hands. But when old age came knocking, she was no longer seen as a mother, only as a burden. She was pushed out of the very home she helped build. Do you think she will collapse under the weight of betrayal or rise and start over from nothing? If you believe she will survive and stand tall again, comment 1. If you think her fate is doomed to tragedy, leave a 0 below. After her husband passed away, her life sank into silence and heaviness. The cornfields that were once green and full of promise now lived only in memory. Her knees ached with every step, her hands trembled, no longer strong enough to work like before. Her daughter and son-in-law lived in the same house, but the warmth of family was gone. The daughter grew irritable, her words sharp and cold. The son-in-law was lazy, sleeping all day, leaving every burden on the shoulders of the old woman. Despite her exhaustion, she kept helping, hoping to protect the home she and her husband had built through a lifetime of sweat and sacrifice. Then one night, in the stillness of the house, she overheard their whispers. They feared poverty was closing in. And then came the cruel decision. The old woman had to leave. The next morning, strange noises echoed in the yard. She stepped outside and froze. Her clothes, blankets, shoes thrown in a heap on the ground. Her daughter stood there, eyes cold, no explanation. "Mother, you have to go," she said flatly. The old woman trembled and whispered that this was her home, but the door closed anyway. She collapsed on the doorstep and cried until the sun disappeared behind the hills. In that moment of despair, she remembered a secret one only she and her late husband knew. Years of back-breaking labor, coins saved one by one, hidden in a stone box near the old cattle shed. When night fell, she returned quietly, pushed aside the heavy stones, and found the money untouched. It wasn't just money, it was her last hope. Carrying that hope, she walked to a nearby village. A kind farming family recognized her. They offered her a warm meal, a hot cup of tea, a place to sleep for the night. The next morning, she asked to buy land. Yes, they said. There was still a good plot available. She used her savings and started again from zero. With help from neighbors, she built a sturdy wooden house, planted corn, raised chickens, and lived a peaceful, honest life. During those days, a young boy from next door often came to help her. He never asked for money, only helped out of respect and kindness. She never forgot that. Meanwhile, her daughter and son-in-law sank deeper into poverty. They refused to work. The old house rotted away. The yard filled with weeds. Arguments became daily routine. They believed the old woman had nothing left. They were wrong. One day, the son-in-law traveled far, looking for work. He knocked on the gate of a large farm. The door opened. He froze. It was the old woman, calm, dignified, no hatred in her eyes. She hired him as a worker with one condition. He must not tell her daughter that this farm belonged to her. Desperate, he agreed. Day after day, he worked hard. She never treated him cruelly, only sometimes asked quietly, "How is my daughter these days?" And every time, he answered, "She's fine," even when she wasn't. Eventually, the daughter followed him and discovered the truth. She stormed into the yard, staring at the mother she once cast out, now standing in the middle of a thriving estate. Rage exploded. She screamed, accused, demanded. When she finally stopped, the old woman said nothing. She simply looked at her and closed the door. After that, the couple quickly wasted what little money they had left. They sold the old house, lived hand to mouth, waiting for the day they could inherit the farm. They never knew that, in silence, the old woman had written her will. Everything she built with sweat and tears was left to the boy who helped her when she had no one. When she passed away, the villagers honored her with deep respect, and her daughter and son-in-law, when they learned the truth, were left only with shame and disappeared from her life forever. The story ends, but the question remains: do you choose to live by kindness or by greed? If you believe kindness is always rewarded, comment 1. If you think greed will win in the end, leave a 0 below.